1500 प्रीलोडेड गानों वाला कीपैड फोन धमाकेदार साउंड के साथ कारवा मोबाइल.
Hi, this is Utkarsh Patel, and welcome to a world of some lovely stories. Stories from mythologies, legends, folk tales, and epics. In the epic Ramayana, Ravan is quite a contradiction. He is intelligent, a devotee of Lord Shiva, but gets into a confrontation with Ram, who is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. He was an expert in Vedas, but didn't stop short of kidnapping someone else's wife. Many scholars have said many things about Raman's womanizing ways, but that too is a contradiction in the opinion of many. Many have said that though he had many wives, which was probably a norm for kings in those days, he always respected women. This can also be understood by the fact that his subjects were both happy in his regime and respected him as a king. A kingdom cannot be happy and content if the women in the kingdom were insecure. Besides, many felt that his kidnapping of Sita had less to do with his womanizing ways or lust for women than revenge for the wrongful mutilation of his beautiful sister Surpanakha. However, there are different opinions on this matter based on different versions. Let us understand this in a slight detail. According to one version, a sage woman by the name of Vedavati was performing penance to propitiate Lord Vishnu and gain him as a husband. Ravan was moved by her beauty, which seemed to have been enhanced due to the penance, but she rejected his advances. When Ravan tried to force himself on her, she is supposed to have ended her life by burning herself. Before dying, she had vowed to be the cause of his death in her next birth. Later, Vedavati is reborn as the first child of Ravan and Mandodari. It had already been prophesied that Mandodari's firstborn would be the cause of Ravan's death. On the birth of their daughter, she was ordered to be killed. However, Subahu, who was given the task of killing the child, was unable to kill the baby girl, and so he abandoned the child and lied to Ravan that he had killed her. This child was later found by King Janak, who brought up the child as Sita, also known as Vedavati sometimes, and the rest, as they say, is history. There is another version of this alleged womanizing ways of Ravan. According to this version, Ravan tried to force himself on Rambha, an Apsara who was already engaged to Kuber's son. Kuber was Ravan's elder brother. Rambha pleaded to let her go as she was like a daughter to him, but Ravan could not be deterred. Seeing this, Kuber's son cursed him that if he ever tried to force himself on any woman, then his 10 heads would fall off his head. Some scholars also say that it was for this reason that Ravan could not violate Sita's chastity when she was in his custody, and not necessarily due to his strong character and will, which many of Ravan's admirers feel so. As I mentioned, there are different opinions about Ravan's womanizing ways, but his strong will and the strength of character cannot be questioned. Many have also opined that he was well aware of the fact that Sita was his daughter, and it was due to this that he never touched Sita. His only objective was to avenge his sister's insult. Or was there some other objective? Once when Vishnu was in his abode, Vaikunth, there were two Dwarpals, gatekeepers, by the name of Jaya and Vijaya. Once when the Sanat Kumars, that is the son of Brahma, who were born out of his mind and thus are also known as the Brahma's Manasputras. When these two Sanat Kumars were visiting Vishnu, they were not allowed entry, as the Kumars were in the form of small children, and thus they were not recognizable. However, this denial by the Dwarpal angered the Kumars, and they cursed Jaya and Vijay that they would be expelled from Vaikunth and would be born on earth. Vishnu, however, agreed to mitigate the curse. After all, they were just doing their duty. Vishnu gave them a choice. They could take 7 births as devotees of Lord Vishnu on earth, or 3 births as enemies of Lord Vishnu. The choice was theirs. Jaya and Vijaya chose the option of enemies, as this would bring them back to Vaikunth early and serve their Lord. In the first birth, Jaya and Vijaya were born as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, who were killed by Vishnu as Narasimha and Varaha. In the second birth, they were born as Ravan and Kumbhakarna, who were killed by Vishnu as Ram. And in the third birth, they were born as Shishupal and Dantavakra, who were killed by Vishnu as Lord Krishna. After these three births, Jaya and Vijaya returned to Vaikunth to serve their Lord Vishnu again. Coming back to Ravan, could his kidnapping of Sita, who is also known as Lakshmi, be a way to come face to face with Lord Vishnu and enhance the end of his second birth? Is this another case of preordained destiny? Well, as they say, gods have their own ways, and who are we, mere mortals, to understand them? Leela, as they often call it. If you found the story of destinies and births and lesser known versions of some well-known characters, come back for more. Till then, let me listen to my favorite song and you listen to yours on Saregama Karma.
काला है तो काला होगा, मौत का ही मसाला होगा। चूना कत्था जिंदगी तो सुपारी जैसा छाला होगा। बाप ने जना नहीं तो पापियों ने पाला होगा। धूप से निकल गया था, भूख से निकाला होगा। भला बुरा, बुरा भला, खोटे पर सब खरा भला है। वो जो अब कहीं नहीं है, उस पे भी तो यकीन नहीं है। रहता है जो फलक फलक पे, उसका घर भी जमीन नहीं है। अक्ल का ख्याल अगर वो शक्ल से भी हसीन नहीं है, पहले हर जगह पे था वो, सुना है अब वो कहीं नहीं है। बुरा भला, खोटे पर सब खला भला है। भला बुरा, बुरा भला, खोटे पर सब खला भला। भला बुरा, बुरा भला, खोटे पर सब खला भला है।